Let's see. Are we live? We'll find out in a minute.
Why would you find out in a minute?
Cool. Hey, everybody. This is Cappuccino Cunnilingus podcast episode number 5.
What?
Yeah, number 35.
Oh, okay.
Did you want to start over?
No, it's just been a long time.
It has been a long time. For those who don't remember, I'm Rob.
I'm Mitch.
And this is the first time we've sat down to do this in a little over a year.
Yeah?
I would say.
Yeah,
I remember that.
You said the last post was 200 days ago?
It might have been longer. That was YouTube doing something.
Oh, okay.
That might have been done directly by YouTube. Maybe not.
Definitely over a year, because I moved to LA in a month and a half from now. A year ago.
Yeah. No, you. Oh, yeah. You moved after.
Yeah, we haven't done one since massage school.
Yeah.
Maybe in the middle of massage school, but I don't think so. I remember we filmed an episode and we had Carl on Skype for it.
That one never went live.
Yeah, the audio never went through.
Yeah.
I don't remember when that was, but I feel like it was while I was in massage school.
It was when you were.
Yeah.
This is a great time to sit down and catch up. I mean,
it is.
You've been in LA for almost a year now.
I have.
And I've been here in Florida.
Making a name for yourself.
Always. That's the whole point of this is to make a name for yourself.
Yeah.
And I don't know.
It's fair. Did you drink that straight up?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm about to. I don't think I'll sleep today. And that might be bad.
I don't want to sleep today.
I have to work tomorrow.
So I can't cuddle with my girlfriend in my house because my parents are home, and I can't cuddle with her at her house because she hasn't introduced me to her parents yet. So wait.
Hold on. I just want to preface this with, you've been together since at least New Year's.
Oh,
right?
Since November.
Since November.
So the middle of November.
A solid
November 12th.
A solid 5 months.
Just about, yeah, November 12th.
And she hasn't introduced you.
Yeah, no.
Ooh. Big oof.
Well, so
chat. If there's a chat somewhere, big oof in chat, please.
Well, her parents, her mom's old school Russian from Ukraine, and
so you need to bring a goat.
No. She every time I go to pick her up, her mom is like, "Oh, I'm cooking. Oh, I'm doing this. He can't come in. He can't come in."
Because she's cooking. Or
she doesn't want to be seen in house clothes. As I'm learning, Russians are really bougie, so they want to be done up when they're meeting people.
Like Armenian.
Yes, and actually, exactly. Yeah. But we're going to this wedding tomorrow, and I'm gonna go pick her up, and she wants to introduce me to her mom tomorrow. She made this plan with her mom a month ago, so her mom had a month in advance to know that she was meeting me. She was like, "Oh, he can't just come in on a whim." So there's that.
Coming in on a whim.
Yep. Not pull out like a couch.
So wait. You can't cuddle her here.
Mm-hmm.
Because is it because you don't want your parents to walk in, or is it?
Oh no, she thinks it's disrespectful.
I literally, I'm not even kidding. I literally gave a blowjob, and there were a house full of people.
Cool, yeah, we wouldn't do that.
There's a couple people that remember this, but my 17th birthday party, me and my girlfriend at the time went downstairs to my bedroom, and we were just gonna hang out and talk for a little bit. One thing led to another, and she was going to work, and 5 minutes passed, 10 minutes passed, 15 minutes passed. One of my best friends walks down. She opens the door in my bedroom because I closed the door. I wanted privacy while we were talking. I didn't think that other things were going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
I was hoping that the things were going to happen, but I didn't know that they were.
Mm-hmm.
But she opened the door. She called out, "Hey, Fox, you need to come up here. Bring your girlfriend too." And as soon as she said that, we heard footsteps coming down the stairs. And like mid, she brought her head up. I pulled my pants up as fast as I could. I think I almost chafed my dick doing it. And I like got a pillow and like covered my junk real quick. And I think my best friend, I think she might have seen my dick. Might have.
Who's your best friend?
I want to keep her name out of it. Just
Is it who I think it is? Oh, okay, no.
Yeah. That's yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
I mean, I would like to make her a best friend, but she's
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
So yeah, that's literally my birthday, and my mom, stepdad, all my friends, in the living room. We were downstairs.
Yeah.
House full of people. I have no shame.
Yeah, no, she don't play that.
Ah.
She don't play that.
This is. You think it's because of her, like, not that it's bad or wrong. I think it's really cool, but like, you think it's because of her upbringing and like her family and like the traditional values and stuff like that?
100%.
Okay.
Yeah, like her mom's like my mom in the sense where like I don't know if you know my parents. It was like if Volia wanted to sleep over, when my parents aren't here, it's fine. Like because that's what we do. Yeah. I mean, it's kind of unspoken. Like when I come and I visit here, like she stays over. Yeah. And but like when they're here, my mom's like, "You're not sleeping in the same bed. You're not sleeping in the same room." Damn. And that's how her mom is. She's like, "You're not married, so."
But is your mom the you have to be married type? Or no, like, it's more of a respect thing?
No, my mom is like, "You're not." My mom. It's funny because we bonded over that specifically. Where both of our moms were like, "You're not married. You're not sleeping in the same bed under my roof while I'm here. You want to rent an Airbnb? Go for it. You want to go do that shit somewhere else? You can do that, but not under my roof." That's how my family is, and that's how her family is.
I get it.
So that's that.
I come from a family
of deviants. All right, my family's a bunch of fake Catholics. Fake Catholics. I say that with love.
Like hashtag fake faith.
I don't know hashtag fake
faith. You train at 10th planet, but you don't know hashtag fake faith.
I don't.
All right, so
I didn't finish it yet. I want to.
Oh god. Did you get rescheduled?
No. There was one day where I sat down for like an hour and a half, and then I've been busy like since then. Like, but I want to sit down and finish it like the right way.
It's so good. As soon as Eddie shows up,
that's exactly what I'm looking forward to.
That's the best part. All bets are off. I was actually going to ask you about. I can taste the thing. I was actually going to ask you about that because you're on and off training jiu-jitsu at 10th Planet. Mm-hmm. Have you met Eddie yet?
No. So it's it's interesting. Like I'm in LA.
Yeah.
His studio is downtown LA.
Yeah. That's
10th Planet Jiu-Jitsu headquarters.
Mm-hmm.
And then I train at 10th Planet West LA under Scott Epstein. Okay. So Scott Epstein, if you've ever seen Never Back Down 2,
yeah,
he was Justin Epstein.
Really?
Yeah. Huh. He wrote like a bunch of the fight scenes for that movie apparently. And he actually just got his 3rd degree black belt under Eddie. So him and Eddie are the only people in the 10th Planet system who have 3rd degrees and 10th Planet.
Awesome.
But they teach very differently.
Yeah.
So the thing is like, someone was explaining this to me. If I was to go to 10th Planet headquarters, I'd be told to sit the fuck down, basically, because but it's only because of where I come from. Like every other 10th Planet is different than West LA. West LA is unique because I hope I don't butcher this, but the way it was explained to me, not by Scott, someone else explained it to me, so this is how I could be wrong. But Scott was a black belt under Henzo in New York. Because he's from New York.
Yeah.
So he was a black belt in Gi Jiu-Jitsu, like Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. And then he started training 10th Planet. So he has a full-on Gi background, like Eddie does, but most of 10th Planet is they don't. They just do no gi. Yeah. It's all no gi. So like we don't train with a gi, but he has a different approach. So like at West LA, we do the same movement for the whole month. Yeah. You show up, hey, in fundamentals class, you're probably going to do arm bars, triangles, kimuras, all that stuff, and drills. But when you come into the actual 10th Planet BJJ class, it is, okay, this month we're doing the Iron Sheik. So here we're doing takedowns, and now we're doing this transition, and we're doing this for the Iron Sheik. Drill, 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 drill. And then at the end, you can spar. He doesn't let me spar because he's like, you haven't been going here long enough, my people will fucking eat you because they want to all be competitors. He's like, my people will eat you.
You also put the twins
but so it's different because the 10th Planet has specific warm-ups. So, but Scott doesn't use them. So if you go to Eddie's class, it is the 10th Planet warm-up series. And if you don't know it, he's not going to take the time to really teach you it. Like he'll be like, you shouldn't be showing up to this class. You should show up to fundamentals class. Yeah. And if you go to fundamentals class, then you're not training under Eddie. Yeah. So if you go to any other 10th Planet where they do those warm-ups, then you can go to that class and you're fine.
It's like going to a CrossFit box and not knowing why.
Well, not knowing the movements. Because
if I walk into
yeah, because it's not really, it's less about all the workouts are made up, everything's made up. Yeah. You know, so it's like fuck the workout, but it's like, oh, you don't know the movement. Oh, well, in most cases they're just going to give you a scaled down version of it, and you're not going to know what you're doing to the best ability. But in this environment, it's different because it's combat. You're working with other people. Yeah. Like at Scott's place, you go in, the first thing you do are heel hooks and leg locks, heel hooks, leg locks, heel hooks, leg locks. That's how a lot of 10th Planet is. But if you go to any traditional gi jiu-jitsu place, they don't do that. You don't do leg locks or heel hooks until you're at least a blue belt. Yeah. So Scott just runs his place differently. So as much as I want to go to 10th Planet headquarters, I haven't invested the time in studying the warm-ups for myself and practicing the warm-ups for myself. So if I went, he'd be like, why are you in my class? Yeah.
The reason I asked was because later on in that podcast, Eddie and Alex can throw an open challenge out to people regarding something. And I'd be like, yo, you should totally talk to him for me. And say that I want to do it.
What is it?
I don't want to spoil it because it's not important, but it's
integral to the thing.
It's integral to a part of the conversation.
For sure.
And that, to me, that would ruin the podcast.
I agree. That's totally fair.
But you'll hear it and you'll go, oh, that's what he was talking about.
Yes.
Because I feel like I could be nonpartisan in what they want.
Yeah.
And I feel like I would be willing to give up the time to be able to do it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's a very specific and interesting thing that they're offering.
Now I'm curious.
Yeah, I mean, you should go find that podcast.
I will. You know what's funny is I haven't seen Eddie at 10th Planet, but I've seen him at the Comedy Store.
Yeah, I feel like he would be good there.
Yeah, saw him perform.
Really? How was it?
It's okay.
So.
I laughed a little bit. Yeah. And then I found out he doesn't. He's like, people always ask me for pictures. He's like, so I give them the zombie for free, where he's just like, he's like, if they want me to smile, it's $5. It's like, oh my god.
I mean, you can do that on Snapchat.
Fair. Fair.
Oh, that reminds me. Have you heard of Cameo?
No.
Oh, okay. So Cameo is basically premium Snapchat, but for like celebrities.
Okay.
Like you could get like you could get Eddie Bravo to like record a message for you, and he'll like if you call somebody's voicemail, he'll be like, "Yo, you stupid cocksucker! It's Eddie Bravo. Your best friend's here. Says you're a cuck or whatever. Bye." Like, and you pay him like $10 via Cameo, and like he'll do that.
Okay.
So like, there's celebrities that charge like $50. Like I know, like the Whose Line Is It Anyway cast, Colin Mockery's on there, and he'll charge like $50 for like a video, and I think it's up to like 20 or 30 seconds or something.
Okay.
Which, I mean, $50 for 30 seconds of work.
That's pretty good.
That's more than what most people make in a full day's work for some people.
Damn.
I mean,
After taxes.
After taxes, yeah.
Oh, that's ugly.
Yeah.
That's really ugly.
Yeah. But it's cool. And you can get people to say and do ridiculous things.
Fair. Nice. You told me you were curious about LA.
I was curious about LA. What was it?
I don't smoke, bro.
Sure. That's right. But is it like in the air?
Oh, all the time. I work right on Lincoln Boulevard in Venice, man. So like, where I set up.
Is it like the Chinese smog where it's like today's gonna be sunny with a chance of purple haze outside?
No. But you have a lot of crackheads walking up and down Lincoln. Get a lot of homeless people screaming. You got a lot of people just like smoking and chilling. People riding like scooters that fall on cracks in the sidewalk and face plant. It's funny. Smoked crack for the first time like about maybe 2 months ago. It was great. I was working on this.
Did you have to blow that for it?
No. I was working on someone, and right behind the gym there's this alleyway, and I guess it became a little homeless like shanty town.
Yeah.
Because that'll happen, and then the cops will show up and they'll like break it all up.
Disperse.
Yeah, and then they go find a new shanty town in a couple of months. The same alley is always turning into shanty town, so they just work their way back. Whoville. But yeah, this development of the shanty town. There was one day where I was working on someone, and everyone was like, "What the fuck smells like hot, burning paint?" And someone was like, "Oh man, there's a dude in the back who's smoking crack. I saw him doing it earlier. He's probably doing it again." And I was like, "Oh, so crack smells like hot, burning paint."
Yeah, it's like when you heat up the skin, it's like high octane.
All right, makes sense now.
Yeah, because you're burning metal.
Yeah, it's fair. That's interesting though, because I've always burnt metal, and I've never had that kind of smell.
Chemical reaction with
crack. Yeah.
It's weird how like certain things you'll have a smell hit you and you're like, what is that? Have I smelled that before? No, that's new.
Yeah.
And then like some stuff like, oh man, I haven't smelled that forever. I can't remember where I was the last time I smelled that.
Yeah. Or you smell something that takes you right back to a memory and you're like, wow.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah, every morning I have that same experience with the olives that they have over on the olive bar.
Mm-hmm.
And it smells just as bad as yesterday.
But yeah, so I don't know, we smell weed all the time because like people are just walking up and down Lincoln Boulevard smoking. It's pretty regular. I mean, there's a dispensary right next to me And there's another dispensary a block and a half away. And then there's another dispensary being built like a block and a half away from that dispensary. There are 2 dispensaries on the street that I live on. So there's a shit ton of weed there, man. But what's funny is I know a kid who still is a pot dealer. He's like, yeah, man. He's like, not everybody wants to pay those prices, so I get all the people who can't afford that shit. And I was like, oh, all right, cool. So I know people for legal weed and black market weed, which is interesting.
I don't understand how I can still get black market for it.
Well, it's all the taxation, man. So that.
Yeah, but that's what helps, like, fun shit.
Yeah, people don't care though, because here's the thing, man. California's fucked up. I mean, part of why I want to leave California is because, like, I love LA a lot, man. Like, it's one of the best. It's actually the best city I've ever lived in. But, like, on top of the 20% federal tax, I'm paying. Like, you will pay anywhere between 6 and 15%. And don't quote me on that exact percentage, but I know someone who pays 7, and I know someone who pays 12, and the person who pays 12 doesn't even make that much cash. It's like you don't have to make that much money for them to tax you 12% on top of the 20%. And you're losing 32% of your income. And then there's taxation on the weed. There's like sales tax, all this other shit. So it's like realistically, you're getting taxed out the ass in California. So I guess kind of makes sense why. Of course. You also have people who. All right. Fair.
Have somebody still straight on 30 minutes ago.
I believe it. Well, yeah, that's all. That's everything I have to offer for that topic.
I mean, as much as you want to leave LA, I'd like to go give it a try. My creativity stems from just ideas. I feel like in the right industry, that can be good.
I completely understand that. I mean, like, here's the thing, man. I love LA, but like I said, it's just like if you're making not a lot of money on paper, but a decent amount of money in reality, you're all good. It's like you're not in a super high tax bracket and you're not broke. But if you're making even a moderate amount of money, you're gonna get taxed a crazy amount, and then it's basically like you're broke just because you have to document the amount of money you're making. And then on the other hand, it's like if you're making a shit ton of money, then it's fine because you're losing a percentage of a shit ton of money, but you still have a lot of fucking money. So the problem really becomes like, okay, if you're making a moderate amount of money, you're fucked. So it's like right now where I'm making an okay amount, I'm still getting certain breaks. So it's okay. But let's say I have an actual successful business. I'm going to get fucked. And even having an actual somewhat like there's kind of a ceiling for my field. I can only make a certain amount doing exactly it is what I'm doing. Like I can make indirect money, I can make passive money, I can do all that shit. I can find ways to do that, but I'm just talking concrete what I do. There's a limit, and that limit would be moderate in terms of California because it's like bro. When I tell you a shitty house in Venice is $1 million, like a shitty house that you're basically gonna have to be like, I either have to redo everything or I have to destroy this house and rebuild everything. And that's $1 million just because it's land in fucking Venice.
I mean, remember when we played GTA? The houses, like, that's how I imagine it would be. It's like, even if it's like a 2-story, 2-bedroom, 1.5 bath, $1 million. It's
that's easily more. Yeah.
Like a rundown one would be $1 million.
Yeah, like there are rundown 1-floor houses that are $1 million just because it's Venice. Like I'm telling you, man. Like I have friends who they rehab stroke patients, and they make good money doing what they're doing. They have really consistent clientele. and they've been doing it for a long time, so like they know their way around everything.
Yeah.
They're like, dude, if you want to be out here for 2 or 3 years while you're young and learn a bunch and take all that information away with you, I think you're doing something smart.
Yeah.
They're like, it's people who've been doing this for 25 years. If you think that you want to stay out here, I'm going to tell you that you're really dumb. Because even though we've because we're really successful doing what we're doing, and we're going to live in an apartment until we die renting.
Yeah.
So it's like,
I believe it. That's kind of how, like, there's little patches of paradise all over this country, and that's what is really weird. Is you don't have to live 10 minutes from downtown LA to be in paradise. You don't have to live on Miami Beach to be in paradise. You don't have to live in New York City to be in paradise.
well, it depends on what your definition of paradise is too.
Literally the exact opposite of like living in a rundown house in West Virginia.
Yeah, but like, what kind of amenities do you want?
Basic.
Because like the thing is, dude, is I can go to Diamond Bar, California, and be okay, but Diamond Bar is not a fucking city. So it's like, what do you want?
Slightly above Slab City, but not quite Columbine, West Virginia.
I still want to go to Slab City.
I know you do. I do, actually.
Yeah.
We have to go and don't have the
Oh, 100%.
We have to go and like look like we're from there.
Bring a cooler of beer and meth to give to everybody.
Yeah. Bring to everybody.
Yep.
So remember how earlier I told you I had the internet has a theory, but I kind of agree with it, and I want to take it a step further.
Oh yeah, but you wanted to save it for this, right?
Yes, I did. So the New Zealand shooting.
Yeah, I don't know anything about it.
I know a little bit about it.
Okay.
Apparently, one of them is the one that they have in custody. The one that they have in custody. As he was like getting a shit in his car, he had a GoPro, so he was live streaming everything and recording it. Somewhere along the way, he said sub deputy on it. Which first off, you're like, okay, what does that mean? What can you take from that? Well, right now on YouTube, PewDiePie and T Series are like 50,000 followers away from each other. Like it's neck and neck every day, trying to figure out who's going to be like the most subscribed channel on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
And if you commit an act of terror and say, "Hey, follow this person," and then kill a bunch of people, it's kind of going to kill the momentum for that person.
Yeah.
On top of that, he was also saying like, Candace Owens is my reasoning for doing this. And
I don't know who Candace Owens is. Okay.
And if you really put it together, it kind of sounds like this guy was trolling. Like,
okay.
Straight up like internet trolling. Like, not like deranged, other than maybe like sociopathic, but not. He wasn't like the Las Vegas guy where he was faking out and was trying to figure out the right place to do what he was doing.
Okay.
Which makes me think, because it also kind of came out somewhere that he was like left wing, whatever left wing is in New Zealand.
Okay.
If this was, if you're going to take this into conspiracy territory, what's the best way for the left to get a gun ban in place?
Oh, have a tragedy happen like that?
Have a tragedy.
Mm-hmm.
What's the best way for somebody to be, I don't want to say enigma, kind of just takes away from the whole thing, but like what's the best way for somebody to be serious but also not be serious?
Mm-hmm.
If he's a left wing troll, and he was serious about New Zealand enacting a gun ban, all he has to do is like say some really stupid fucked up shit, and then they can enact a terror.
Yeah. So technically, he's like kind of a martyr for his cause.
Yeah, the cause wants something, he will act upon it and make sure that it happens.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, depending on where you want to go with the conspiracy, like, yeah, it definitely helped T-Series like gain traction a little bit because people got some subs, but like getting a whole country to enact an assault weapons ban, like, just pick the right guy and like have him. Like, he wasn't shot and killed; like, he's alive.
Yeah, which is insane. How many people died in New Zealand?
40.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Yeah.
He went hard in the paint. It wasn't just like.
No, but he kind of knew he was in. I didn't get a chance to watch the video, but like the stuff that they did show was like him unloading with his trunk and like walking up to the mosque and everything.
Oh, yeah. You know what's weird, man?
What?
That's my phone number.
Did you try to call yourself?
How? No, when you looked at my phone, you saw it vibrating.
Yeah.
I wasn't near my phone.
No.
That's my phone.
The call came from. Okay.
It's weird.
Okay.
That's weird.
Okay.
All right, I'm sorry.
Oh my god, my phone's doing it too.
So weird.
Oh man.
Who gets a phone call from their own phone?
People that are about to be accident, like scream.
That's how I feel right now.
I haven't heard your dog bark. You haven't heard your dog bark.
My parents are out and we're upstairs.
Okay, but your dog's still like doesn't like me.
Yeah, but yeah, my dog does not like you. I don't understand why.
I know. It's
Like,
upsetting.
doesn't fuck with you. My dad wants to know if you want Chinese food.
Um, really fucked up. I need to stop. I need to.
What were you gonna say?
I'm not.
Please say, because I have a feeling. For the love of God,
gonna...
finish your sentence.
No, you don't want me to.
I do.
I don't. You don't want me to.
I feel like I know.
I need to stop.
I feel like I know what you're gonna say. And that's what I want you to say, so I can laugh at it.
I'm not gonna say it. Just know that. Just know that I have a lot of respect. That's why I'm not gonna say it.
Oh my God.
We'll both take that. We'll both take that. We'll not elaborate on it.
Fine. PewDiePie.
So I put in my.
What do you want?
Boneless spare rib, white rice. What's my go-to Chinese order? What did I say?
I want to talk about LA.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk about LA. Tell me, you didn't see Captain Marvel, did you?
Not yet.
No. Are you gonna see it?
I think so. My cousin wants to go like tonight, but I don't know if we're gonna do that.
There should go. I think it's a great movie, like just as a movie itself. Not even the fact that it's part of the 22 movie saga that is Marvel. Just like overall, it's a great movie.
Fair.
And the Stanley cameo, you will greatly enjoy.
I should have scratched that.
No.
I didn't realize that it went. I didn't realize that was like that. I thought it was the inner bicep tattoo. But nothing came off. It's fine. Right? That's fine?
Yeah, it looks good.
Yeah, use my psycho and tell me it's fine. Thank you.
It's fine, Daddy.
Cool. I don't see anything on my nails, which means I didn't peel any skin off directly.
Yeah, I don't know if you can tell, but I've kind of got like nice little bunch more.
Nice. Fucking what? So what about Captain Marvel? You saw it?
Yeah, saw it opening preview night. I have not missed a preview night showing of a Marvel movie, starting with Spider-Man 3, like Tobey Maguire Spider-Man.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Are you fucking wow?
I have not missed an opening night Marvel movie. That goes for not just Marvel Studios, but all the Sony pictures. And I will say this live action because I skipped Spider-Verse because I wanted to. I knew it was going to be crowded no matter what because it's an animated movie, so it's going to be chock full of kids in the movie theater when I saw it. So I just kind of skipped that one. But like all the X-Men movies, Spider-Man's, Fantastic Fours, Deadpool, all of them. I haven't missed an opening night since Spider-Man 3.
Wild.
I was trying to keep that streak going with DC, but I skipped Aquaman. I don't know why I just didn't. For some reason, it didn't resonate with me. I didn't like the
Aquaman?
Yeah, I didn't like how it was being marketed.
Aquaman kind of sucked. I mean, amazing. Aquaman was good for Aquaman.
Yeah,
but like
for the universe, it wasn't.
Even though they you could tell they went hard in the paint to try and make Aquaman incredible.
Well,
it was okay.
The reason it worked so well is because James Wan was just like, yeah, we're gonna do all the ridiculous shit that nobody thinks we're gonna do, and we're gonna make it work.
Yeah,
like the fucking orange gold fucking suit, like that shit shouldn't play, but it fucking plays. The giant fucking helmet on Black Manta shouldn't fucking play, but he makes it work. Like the whole thing just shouldn't work, but it does. That's why it made $1 billion. But like,
it's fair.
Okay.
Stacy, you know what that's like.
Yeah.
You haven't
I tend to ignore it.
You haven't gotten a new tattoo in a minute.
The last ones I got were the ones behind yours. I'm waiting to get started on the sleeve. That's the one I wanna start working on. Once that's done, I'll probably have enough. And what I would want to do is get the sleeve done, and while that's healing, get my 5-piece done that I've been sitting on, and that would be.
Depends on how aggressively you want to go about it. Because what you could do is, this is what I did. You have to take 2-week breaks to let everything heal before you continue.
Yeah.
So I'd get this shit done,
mm-hmm.
and then I'd go and get this arm, and then I'd go and get this arm, and then go and get this arm, and I was getting tattooed every week.
Mm-hmm.
And if I felt like getting a tattoo in the middle of that, I'd go to my leg, or I'd go to my rib, or I'd go to my nipple, or I'd go to this part of my arm, or I'd go to that part of my arm, so I could get tattooed. Like,
you're also like
100%.
You're not a. I don't want to say you're not a bad addict, but you're not somebody that's gonna go out of their way to like hurt what they're doing. So you're not gonna borrow money to go get tattooed. You're gonna make money, get tattooed, and still be good.
Yes, 100%.
Yeah.
Yes.
See,
this nigga half baked. You're like, I'm addicted to tattoos. Bob Saget being like, what? Have you ever sucked dick for a tattoo? No. Why? Shut the fuck up. Suck dick for coke. But yeah. Depends on how aggressive you want to go about it. Because I went and I got
I want to build up the
tolerance
again. Like that's my whole thing.
I got this on a Sunday.
Uh-huh.
And I went and got this on a Tuesday. Well, I got this colored in. I got the outline for this back in October, around Halloween. So I got this on a Sunday. I got this colored in on a Tuesday. And then on Friday, I got this little fetus.
Mm-hmm.
And
Norman Reedus somewhere.
Who?
Norman Reedus?
I thought I didn't know
that. Daryl from Walking Dead?
Nope.
Boondock Saints.
Okay. I know who that is.
One of the brothers.
So yeah, so I got this done on a Friday. Then I went in on a Tuesday.
Uh-huh.
And I got this piece done right here.
Mm-hmm.
Then we did these because I was already there. But most like I got this entire background and everything from here, except for that, in the span of a month and a half, including the shin and the knee. So it's like it just depends on how aggressively you want to go about it, man. Because you could do, hey, today I want to work on this fucking sleeve. Let's do wrist to elbow. And then you could be like, hey, man, you know what? I'm going to come back in fucking 3 days, bitch, and we're going to do my shoulder. And then I'm going to come back, and then we're going to do my thigh piece. And then by the time I'm ready to get another tattoo after my thigh piece because my immune system is going to be shot and I'm going to want to die, by the time I'm ready to get a needle again, this will all be healed and I can go fill in this middle. Sleeve gets done in a month. What up? Let's suck dick. You can do it.
Yeah, I mean, my sleeve is going to be. Have you seen Ollie Sykes? Like how his like sleeve is like all black. That's probably how mine's going to look because it's going to be space themed. So it's going to be like galactic black with stars and shit, and then a whole bunch of stuff scattered throughout.
Let me look up his name.
OLISYKES.
What? OLI space
SY. If you just look at his like.
Oh, he just has a lot of black.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know a lot of people who have a lot of black.
Yeah, his is like almost all filled in now.
Yeah, man, I met this fucking guy, man. He had both of his forearms just pitch black. So it was just black. He was like, yeah, man. He's like, I got half this arm done.
So didn't like it, so I just covered it all.
No. He's like, I got all this done. And then I came back for this was an 8-hour session to get to here. And then I came back the next day for a 4-hour session to finish up to my elbow. Did that with both of his arms. And then, this man, forearm tattoos, no chest tattoos, no stomach tattoos, no bicep tattoos. I'm bringing this up because of what I'm about to say.
Skull tattoo.
This man had a medieval times helmet tattooed onto his body where it was like black line down to here, and then it was no hair, just black, like a helmet. Like he was a knight, and I was so I wanted to be like, dude, what do you do for a living? Because I'm so fucking curious. But I was like, but I feel like everyone asks him that question, and I don't want to be.
I feel like nobody talks to him.
He was so nice, though.
I feel like if I saw that guy on the street, I'd be like, I'm not talking to him. You're at like a 10 all the time. I'm sitting at a 3 right now. We can't have this conversation. I need to get at least to like an 8 before we can like have a real conversation. Like the days where you're at an 8 and I'm at like a 2.
Yeah.
I'm just like, give me like an hour. let me scroll through Facebook, get really angry real quick, and then like I gave up scrolling through social media feeds.
That's so crazy to me. That's all I do.
I don't scroll.
That's all I do.
I don't scroll and it feels great. The only things that I do is I watch Snapchat stories of making money.
What about?
That's all I do.
You know, what about if I send you something on Instagram?
Oh, I always look. I always look at my DMs.
You just don't scroll.
I look at DMs. I'll look at if I see something interesting in somebody's story, like if it's like the first thing like behind their profile picture, like if it's something cool, I'll click on that. But other than that, I don't scroll. Like I don't. If I want to see what somebody's up to, I'll search them.
Yeah, specifically.
Yeah, because like with my one friend, she took like a month off or something. So I was like, all right, it's been 2 months. Let me see how she's doing, catch up, and like make sure she's good. Check in, posting regularly, nothing crazy, nothing where I'm like, I should probably like sit down and talk to her. And just like, all right, she's good. And then like I'll check in with like you or Nick or Brandon or anybody. It doesn't really matter. And like I'll text everybody. I'll DM people. But I don't scroll. And I don't find myself like getting emotional. Like I like the neutral background. It's free.
Good.
And I don't want to go back.
I don't have that because I run my business off Instagram.
Well, see, you're at a necessity.
Yeah, I run my business off Instagram, and plus I live in fucking influencer central.
You see that 6-year-old running the fucking hoverboard?
Influencer.
$1 million in his pocket right now.
It's incredible.
He has his AirPods in.
It makes no sense to me, man. It makes no sense to
me. Unboxing videos, dude.
Like I know people who are like, oh hey, you're all gonna pay. Like everyone hosts weekends.
All you motherfuckers are gonna pay.
I love saying that in a Mickey Mouse voice. It's like, all you motherfuckers are gonna pay. You are the ones who are the gold diggers.
All you motherfuckers are gonna pay. You're the ones who are the gold diggers. Fuck you, Ashley.
Oh my god. But yeah, man, it's like I never understand. Like everyone's doing weekends. Everyone's just doing weekend long retreats. Hey, come hang out. Hey, you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna meditate. We're gonna do some yoga. We're gonna make some vegan food, and that's gonna be $500. And they get 50 people to do it. And they get 50 people to do it. Like dead ass, man. Like I don't understand.
If I'm paying $500 to hang out with you for a weekend, you better fucking.
I mean, here's the thing, dude. What they do too is they're like, oh hey, we're gonna have this 4-hour vegan cooking class. It's gonna be it's gonna be $100 a head. And I'm like, what? like what?
All you're gonna teach them is
basic fucking
maybe shit. One thing that requires them to we're gonna start out with cauliflower rice.
Here's what you do: you get a food processor.
Yeah.
I hate it. I hate it so much, man. And like this is what I wanted to talk to you about.
Okay.
Like when I first joined this place, man. When I first moved to LA, I found this Kundalini yoga studio. And I was like, man, I'm tripping balls. Like I'm doing all this like breathing shit, and we're hitting some pretty psychedelic states. And
makes you nice and hard while you're doing it.
Yeah, it does. And I'm like, these people, man, they're very interesting. They all wear white, and all they do is say Satnam. So they're like, hey, how are you? Oh, Satnam. Oh, I'm like, no. How are you? Oh, Satnam. No. Don't say true identity to me. Do you even know what your identity is? Because you wear all white.
No, they don't know. They don't know their identity because they're white people that live in LA. They don't have an identity, gender or otherwise.
It's insane.
They're not real people.
It's insane. And I remember they made it very.
If you all dress the same, you do not have an identity.
I joined a Kundalini yoga teacher training because I was like, oh man, you know what? I want to learn this shit. And I started to read books and listen to books, man. And it's like, started to learn about the vagus nerve.
Mm-hmm.
And like what stimulates the vagus nerve, and the vagus nerve is so it's this cranial nerve that responds to vibrations, and then it creates this parasympathetic, this relaxation, deep relaxation response in your brain. So it's like we're doing 11-minute kriyas where we're being like, we're hyperventilating. 1,
yeah.
2, you're creating this crazy amount of vibration in your face and your body, and then you're laying down flat. So you're going from 100 to 0 real fucking quick, and then everything just kind of integrates from your body. And I'm like, oh, it makes so much sense why I feel high as shit all the time.
Because you're trying to make yourself.
Well, one is that, but it's also like you're stimulating your vagus nerve, and it induces this deep parasympathetic nervous response. So I'm like, oh, hey guys, have you ever correlated this and this and this and this? And they're like, no, this is
magic. No,
this is yogic science. This is mysticism. These kriyas are meant to pull specific things from your subconscious.
You mean like how they operate?
Like, what? And then after that, they were like, oh, all your tattoos. What prison are you coming from? Oh, why do you wear all black when everyone else here is wearing all white?
Because I have a fucking
And I was like, you know what? I was like, I can't do this.
I have a question. Are these the people, when you first moved out to LA, you were hanging out with a guy that was like having a house party?
Yeah.
Those people?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Makes me feel disgusting.
Dude, he's one of the people who he's a cool dude. He's a cool dude. I like hanging out with him. He's a nice guy.
I have a question.
But he's an influencer.
Is he in charge?
Oh,
of the thing. He's in charge of it.
So he's a teacher.
Okay, he's a teacher.
He's not. He wasn't my teacher.
He's not somebody that takes the class.
He does.
He runs, but
he
run the class.
He takes and he runs classes, and he's also building his own program right now.
He's Tom Cruise.
Oh, dude, this dude.
He's Tom Cruise.
Yo, this dude, man. This dude, like, he's an influencer. He's Tom Cruise. He's Tom Cruise. He's fucking Tom Cruise.
He's Tom Cruise.
He is.
He's been eating the pudding.
This dude is like, Mongolia does not like him. Because
I don't like him.
No, but like for a very specific reason. Because it's like we all got lunch together one day.
He has a big
foot. No, he's very like. It's interesting because it's like how he learns how to manipulate people, and like I'm meeting a lot of yogis who are like this.
Did you meet the bear?
Oh, like yogi bear. No, I mean like they're like, oh man, strong masculine power is everything. And it's actually like, dude, I'm telling you, man, it's like they're Saudi. Like, it's like they're fucking Saudi. Like, oh, like even yesterday, like something that had no, like he posts for Instagram questions, and someone asked him something, and it had no relation to women, and he was like, or they were like, oh, are you a Virgo? And he was like, he's like, I'm a Libra, and you women need to learn this and this and this about identity. And I'm like, oh my god, no. But he's not the only yogi I know like that, man. It's like there's this whole other control system within yogic culture that is like equally as toxically masculine as like the far right. But they're using the far left.
It's not a 2D line, it's a 3D circle. And you can be here, but you can also be here.
Mm-hmm.
And the safe places are here.
Mm-hmm. It's fucking.
Oh god, I'm we're like in the middle of I just want to point out exactly what you said. It's like cringy. to me, like to the point where I'm just like, I would contemplate spiritual suicide. Like I would want my soul to kill itself, just so that way it doesn't have to interact with that kind of soul. And I feel like those people understand that. They don't understand if I thought I'm going to kill myself, but if my soul kills itself,
No, like, I get that.
yeah.
No. Bro, my favorite is like, so there's a big homeless community in Venice, like notoriously it's like known for crackheads and homeless people.
Yeah.
And there is this big Kundalini yoga studio, which is actually where I started doing Kundalini.
Do they teach the homeless how to do it?
No, but it's funny as fuck because it's all really wealthy middle-aged white women who are like coming out in all white. Hold on, they're coming out in all white, all like, oh, life, peace, namaste, this, and there's nothing better than like when like 2 or 3 of them are walking in the same line at once, and like they're taking up the sidewalk, and there's so many homeless people there, and like there's one time I was with my buddy, this homeless dude walks up and he's like, "Stop taking up the sidewalk, bitch," and just like bumps his shoulder, and they're like, oh. Your reality is not his reality. It's like you think you're in this.
That's the disconnect. If I was homeless, I would like stand outside the windows of the studio and like do what they're doing. What the police would be like, you can't do that? Like, I'm just standing there.
They have a hidden. It's hidden. They have a thing in the window, so yeah, and they have the doors locked, so you have to knock on the door to be let in.
Let's pretend I'm looking at a whole bunch of middle-aged white women wearing all white and like maybe like the shoulder of the oversized shirt that they're wearing. I get influenced. There's a reason fucking FacePlan lives in a fucking $20 million mansion. There's a reason they call it the cloud. There's a reason for that. So like, you know, I don't think it's meant to last. I don't think it will last.
Oh no, it's not.
I think there's people that are so far up their own asshole that they think that wearing all white is good for their soul. Those are the kinds of people that are going to survive when it breaks down.
Dude, you know what's funny as fuck? It's like they were like, oh, you guys know why we wear all white, right? It's like
on Wednesdays we wear all white.
And they're like, oh, you know, keeps your soul pure, but also we dress how we dress in white robes and turbans. All these white people are wearing turbans, by the way. And they're like, we wear all white and we wear turbans so that anybody who needs help knows that we're someone who can help them.
I'm sorry, what?
Yeah.
I would never hurt somebody wearing an outfit like that.
And be like, I need your spiritual help.
Not even if I like had a flat tire. Like, if my Lime scooter broke down, I wouldn't fucking like ask you for help.
There are Lime scooters out here?
I know what a Lime scooter is.
Okay. Yeah. People ride those
yeah.
And birds all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I see homeless people who hate them. It's hilarious.
Do they take them off like?
Yes. Dude, one time I was walking down the road and this one dude, I just saw him. Just started picking him up and throwing him in the street. Just started throwing them in the street, man. Like there is oh man, I can't think of the name on Instagram, but it's a page where it's just people destroying birds, and like there's one tree that has like 10 birds in it because people threw them. I have a friend who works for Bird, and he's like, oh man, like he charges them, and he's like, yeah man, you know, they cut our pay, and a lot of the people were upset about it, so they just started clipping the brakes on all the birds.
Oh, that's fantastic. I think what would really bother me is like a guy in a business suit, right?
Oh,
that's what would bother me.
Go to Hollywood. I'm staying every day. Every day.
Yeah, the people in White House business, that's all I know. I would kick them in the teeth. I would actually stop and be like, hey, hold on for a second. Yeah.
I've seen people like, because the parking is so shitty.
Oh yeah. That's why there's safety attractions.
Yeah. So
people
will ride that shit to their Ferrari, to their Bentley.
You're like, I feel like it's slowly. It was starting to like shrink when we were talking about the people in white, and now it's like that kind of laziness is like really just sucking my dick back up inside me. Yeah. Yeah. I don't like people.
Feel that.
And like the kind of shit like that fucking bothers me. But like I also I think that's my favorite. Because I know I'd be that guy. Me and my coworker today, she was saying how she took off a day of work to watch her little sister. About halfway through the day, she was like, "Ooh, I forgot I need to go grocery shopping. I don't feel like leaving the house." So we use Instacart.
Yeah.
Instacart's from our fucking store. What she needed after taking the day off from work.
That makes sense to me.
It does. Yeah, it makes sense, but it's also like a dick slap in the face. Like if you just would have went to work, I mean, I get you have to like watch the child or whatever, but like if you would have just went to work, you'd be time.
That's fair. How much does Instacart charge?
After $50, it's free delivery.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Does she still get her employee discount?
Because you can do it through the app. I'm pretty sure you can do it.
Well, that's incredible.
Excuse me. I feel like I hate the things that I know that I would do. Like the most, I feel like that's where I have to draw the line. If I know I would do it, I have to not do it and hate it. And I think that's only fair.
That is fair.
How is it possible?
Dude, I don't know.
How do we make it this far?
Dude, Wole and I are talking about it, and we're like, do we even want to save up for a house? Do we even want to save up for any of these things? Or like I feel like I was talking to my one buddy who's a biologist, and we're talking like the jet stream right now, dude. All right, so in LA in February, the jet stream. I was talking to my buddy who's like he's a fucking biologist, and he like does cannabis testing, and he was telling me because we sat down for lunch. I was like, dude, I can't believe it's raining this much. Like in February in LA, it rained more than it did all of last year. All of last year. And it's also the first time. Yes, I'm gonna explain why in a second. So it rained for more than it did all of last year, and it's the first time it hasn't rained that much in 10 years.
Yeah.
And it's the first time in recorded history that LA didn't hit 70 degrees in February.
Really?
Yes. And I asked him, I was like, dude, like, what the fuck is going on right now? And he's like, oh, okay, so the jet stream isn't moving as fluidly as it used to move.
Mhm.
Now it's getting stuck. There's so much carbon in the air that the jet stream can't move how it normally would. So what cycles of climate weather would last for 2 days are now lasting for 2 weeks. For 2 weeks would last now for 2 months. Like, instead of it being cyclical and moving, he's like, shit is just lingering. Yeah.
But do you know the science? There's that science, but there's also the science of like, because of X, Y is happening. Like,
Well, he said because of the amount of carbon in the air.
Okay, but do you know where the carbon's coming from? No.
China?
No.
Where?
Wildfires.
Oh yeah, we did have we've been having wildfires for the last couple of years now. Yeah. Because that's the thing, man. It's weird because we have a drought.
How many years of carbon is that?
A lot.
How long do you think it takes for carbon to build up in the atmosphere? That would jet stream stop.
That's fair.
Years.
But are the wildfires? Here's the thing, though. It just snowed in Pennsylvania.
Okay.
And then it was 70 degrees the other day.
Yeah, it's Pennsylvania stupid.
No, but I'm just saying that it's like this shit's happening in more places than just LA.
No, I mean LA, California in general. Like there's a real good explanation for why that's happening.
Okay.
And I truly firmly believe that the wildfires are to blame for that. Because if you have
that is a fuck ton of carbon dioxide. Exactly. That makes sense. I didn't factor that.
Yeah. Like thinking through that next step and then incorporate also that kind of leads into a cycle of like, so jet stream slows down because of carbon's coming from the wildfires are coming from fucked up weather patterns.
Well, it's fucked up weather patterns,
but also people being stupid.
Yeah, like
but like
the thing
you don't get to
all it does is it creates the perfect storm.
Yeah.
Like it creates the perfect situation because like what happened with this year's wildfire, like Malibu almost burnt to the ground, Topanga almost burnt to the ground because someone didn't put their campfire out.
Yeah.
And everything was so dry.
Yeah.
It just
yeah, and that's a cycle too. Like I mean, California kind of almost always been a desert that somebody just decided to like, hey, we're gonna like build our own little thing here out in this desert, and it kind of worked. Like, nobody thought 50, 60, 70 years ahead. Like there wasn't much planning to go into it. But like Pennsylvania, let's take where we're from, for example. If it's snowing and then like a week later it's 70, that's almost normal, yeah. Like especially like February, March, April, May. That I wouldn't be surprised if after Easter there's a snowstorm. I would not be surprised. Simply because of how weird the weather is. If you go high enough in the mountains, I mean, you'll get flurries. Like
100%.
And that's just elevation. Like if you get the temperature low enough, it kind of just moves further and further down.
Yeah.
I wouldn't expect like Mooresville or Trenton to get snow in April, but like maybe
Poconos.
The Poconos would probably get like a fleet snowstorm. Like up near Penn State, I feel like
State College area.
Yeah, they would probably get a fleet storm. But like that's, I don't want to say that's normal. It's abnormal, but it's not something that we haven't seen or have grown up seeing.
For sure.
But like even when like the year I was born, you're 94 too, right?
94.
Yeah. I was at the beginning of the year though.
I am middle, July 13th.
Yeah. Like really bad snowstorm, like to the point where like people just couldn't drive. You don't really have that now. I guess they're more prepared, but it's also like the idea that there's going to be a storm so bad that people aren't going to be out on the roads. You go up there during a snowstorm now, everybody's on the road. They don't fucking care. Like there could be 24 inches of snow. They're not people who are like, I need Starbucks. I need something. Like I need to go. So like, there's that. I don't know. I just there's an explanation for it. I just don't know where to start or begin. But I know it's not normal, even though it is.
I miss the East Coast, man.
And this is you.
Like, I love LA, but then when I think about like LA in comparison to like, here's the thing: I hated living here.
Mm-hmm.
I really hated living here. But there's something that makes me want something that makes me want to
come back to the East Coast.
East Coast. I mean, here's the thing: Florida. Like, I don't want to be in Florida, but I don't want the weather of up north without like. Here's the thing: if I was gonna move back up north, it would have to be like
for like the good ones.
Well, no. Like I would. You know, I say I'd tolerate the shit, but I also know I'm a pussy. Like, but like I would need to live in like New York, where like I love
upstate or like
no like
Brooklyn,
like fucking Queens, like somewhere like that, because like I love Los Angeles for its weather. I love it for the fact that it's a city. I love how artistic it is. I love it, but I miss the harshness of people on the East Coast.
Nobody walks up to you in New York.
No, like it drives me up the wall. Like I'm like, what the fuck? Like, come on. Like I'm all about trying to be a nice person and a better person, but like
you need a good fuck you.
You need a good like, dude. I'm telling you, man. Like, there was someone who like I was sarcastic, and there was someone from New York, and they were in Kundalini, and they're like, you know, your sarcasm, your sarcasm is really aggressive, and like I understand that you're making a joke because I'm from New York, so like I get it, but like you're still putting really harsh vibes out, and I was like, are you fucking serious, man? Like how people really like my friend. All right, my friends Rob and Lexi, they raised their child Avedon in the best way I've ever fucking seen. Like they teach him to critically think like a human. They teach him to play like the kid. The kid hangs from one ring and like catches tennis balls and throws them, and then he goes and he builds shit, and he's like introspective. Like there's one day we're going to his mom, and he's like, "Mom, how do I know I'm real? What like what are you guys like?" This kid's 5. We're talking about sharks and gravity casually, and it's awesome. It's so much fun. I fucking love this kid. Guess where they're from? Brooklyn.
Yeah, I get that.
Well, and then I have another friend who grew up in LA. Actually, no, grew up in New York, but is adapted to LA's lifestyle. LA's lifestyle, very much so. Oh, I don't want to. I'm not going to post that we did this because I don't need anybody listening to this. And like,
I know, I wasn't expecting you to share.
Okay, because I want to, but at the same time, like, I'm going to piss off some people that I know back in LA when I say this. I'm like, no, you know what? No, this is me being a West Coast pussy right now. So, no. Hey. All right. So this is the East Coast. Yeah, this is the East Coast.
Nothing. This is like Vegas. Nothing happened here.
That's fair. So this person, is a conscious parenting coach, which is awesome. I think that's really dope.
What does that mean?
So it's all about.
I know what consciousness is. I know what parenting is. But what is that?
So it's about being like an emotionally supportive parent for your child, being there to like
being a parent.
Yeah, exactly. We'll see. Here's the thing. What's a life coach realistically? Like what?
Somebody that's taking $100 away from you a month.
100%.
So
this is the same thing, but it's like I understand the person's intent.
Are they at least teaching them how to afford that?
No. here's the thing. I say, like, the person, I know them, they have the best intent in the world, but they have the rudest daughter I've ever met in my entire fucking life because of how they're raising her. And it's like, hold on. So this kid's not allowed to look at screens. Not allowed to look at screens. Like, she even asked to see my phone, and I showed her something on my phone. And this person was like, oh no, Mitchell knows that he's not allowed to show you a screen because we've talked about that before. You're not allowed to look at a screen because I don't want to ruin your little brain or your eyes. And while I'm having this conversation with her daughter and her daughter, who is 3 or 4, stands on the chair and screams, "Mom, this is my conversation. Leave me alone." And her mom's like, "Oh, okay, cool." And then walks away. And I was like, "Oh, I'm sorry, what? If you're looking for it, just thought you're supposed to be this really, really, really solid parent who takes people's money to hold on, even I have one other thing." So then this daughter was also like, "Oh, hey, Mitch, I'm going to New Jersey to go visit my grandma." And I was like, "Oh, that's cool. Like, you're going to New Jersey. Like, your mom told me that you were going to Vegas." And she was like, "Yeah, we're going to Vegas." I was like, "Oh, okay, cool. So you're going to New Jersey and then you're going to Vegas?" And she was like, "Yeah." And I saw her mom and I was like, "Oh, cool. So your daughter tells me that you're going to New Jersey before you go to Vegas?" And she was like, "What?" And I was like, "Oh, you lied to me." And her mom was like,
to the kids?
"Yeah." And her mom was like, "No, we don't lie. We don't shame." She used her imagination. And I was like, "Oh God." Now you can feel free to interject.
I have a question about this person.
Yes.
Are they so good at their job that they implement what they teach in their homework?
I have probably.
I feel like a lot of people do.
Yes. They're really good at giving advice, not taking. Is that kind of what you're implying?
Yes, but also like I know. So I have the opportunity to train people at my store for what I do, and they were going to take that knowledge back to their store and do that there. I'm going to show them how I do things, even if they're not right or correct by the standards of the company. And I know that if I teach them certain things and they do them, they're going to be okay. Because sometimes you need to show somebody something that is going to click with them.
100%.
I'm also the type of person that if I see something that's faster, better, will implement itself in a way that is more efficient for me. Yeah. I'm going to stop doing it the way I'm doing it and like try to do it the other way, unless like I'm not in the mood for it. Most of the time, I'm not in the mood for it.
I understand that.
And I feel like this can be applied to this person. I do not know this person. You know this person. But I'm good at what I do. I'm in school for it. This is. I found passion doing it. It's weird. Like, I kind of lost it. Even before you actually met me, I feel like started to lose that passion a little bit.
I could tell.
Which is why I left. Like, that was part of it. But, like, after being away from it for 5, 6, 7 years at this point, and going back to it, I feel accomplished. I feel like I'm happy and I'm sad.
Good.
But it doesn't mean that I'm going to implement my best knowledge to my own life. I'm good at showing other people things, but I might not be good at implementing myself.
I mean, that's fair. I mean, like, what did almost every teacher I've ever had do as I do, do as I say, not as I do.
Exactly.
So, like, I'm trying to give you guidelines.
But I rules like
Exactly. like a recipe. That's why I like cooking versus baking. Maybe it's because I never knew how to be creative in baking. Or like actually I did. Like I played around with it a little bit, but there's like so much freedom in culinary specifically where it's like, yeah, recipes are a guideline. I'm gonna do what the fuck I want. And you can't always do that with baking because there's specific chemistry. Like you have to have a certain.
Baking is a science. There's culinary.
Yeah.
That's why it's called
culinary arts.
Culinary arts. You have the ability to be creative at every point. Baking, these are your numbers. Follow them. This is science. Like this is A plus B equals C 100% of the time.
I like when science and art meet.
Yes. That's a great concept.
The Mona Lisa robot.
Yes.
Gears of horror.
Animatronia.
Oh. Gears of horror.
Mona Lisa wasn't a horror.
It just fits.
I mean, yeah.
Maybe
there's gotta be a more clever one. Something.
We'll figure it out. The Heartlet. Like the Harlot, the art, no, it's bad.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Let me. So, the other thing I wanted to ask about the thing we were talking about with this person. You said the child is younger, not necessarily like 6 to 8 or more like 3 to 5. Yes. There's somebody that we both know who also has a child at that age.
Alice?
No.
Oh, yeah.
I'm still out of mind. What you do at home is going to influence the kid.
For sure.
How you act, how you speak, mannerisms, everything. It's all going to rub off.
Well, no, this person's very calm and collected.
I mean, yeah, you can be calm and collected, but like, if you're acting or not acting in a certain way, it's very obvious, and it will be obvious.
I mean, either that or the methods that you think are going to work aren't working. Like, sometimes things are just failed experiments. Like, some shit's great on paper, and then when you enact it, you're like, oh, this has to be modified. Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. It's just like, that is a perfect example of, even in a controlled environment, because of human variability, like, there can be not, like, ill reception.
Yeah. The kid's not going to sit out in front of a quick stop and start saying fuck.
Motherfuck.
Unless you say fuck a lot. A kid isn't going to do that unless it's presented that.
That's totally fair. I will say that this person is divorced. And
parents are divorced.
They're split custody.
My parents have split custody. I'm still a piece of shit.
What I'm saying is I'm not like, I wouldn't say it's necessary. Like, my friend I know doesn't exhibit that behavior.
Yeah.
Does her ex-husband, who the daughter is also with? Because what you're saying, like, I understand what you're saying, and it's like, okay, cool. So that has to be presented in the environment. Well, there are two main characters in that person's environment.
Would it be possible also that when somebody that's developing is presented two options that are not cohesive, that are most likely very opposite of each other,
mm-hmm.
they just automatically decide to go down the path that's easier?
Like
most people.
That's totally fair.
Because at a young age, we decide to just, do the easy thing. You don't you're not gonna have a 2-year-old that's gonna be like, yo, I'm on my grind today.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing too. Like, we're not designed to want the hard way. Your body, literally, like, bro, I can go down a fucking rabbit hole right now about the body.
Mm-hmm.
Like, your body is only going to do what's easiest and most efficient. So the reason why people have poor posture is because the body's like, oh, I don't need to waste energy in memorizing that we can go into that pattern safely because we never do it. Or it's like my one cousin, he just step cousin, he's popped his hamstring for the second time, his medial hamstring. So the one that is like inner, like not closer to his quad, closer to his inner thigh. So he's popped it twice. Now, here's the thing. His squat is heavier than his deadlift. Okay. He has a little bit more of a quad dominant just life pattern. He uses his quads more, and his hamstrings just can't keep up with the amount of power he's expressing. So it pops, but it's also a matter of if he is landing his ankle in a certain way and he doesn't have the coordination to recruit his lateral hamstring, the body's like, hey, I can do this job just using the medial hamstring. And it does it, and then that muscle pops. And then he has to recover. This is the second time this has happened. I got my knee surgery. If I do single leg stuff, I'm okay. If I do bipedal, two-legged shit, I only really feel it in my right leg unless I incorporate trunk rotation or upper body rotation.
Is your right leg the one that had the surgery?
No, my left leg is. So I actually got work done the other day, and the one guy who went and worked on my leg was like, oh man, I still feel some stringy fibers around this knee, like your body still doesn't feel comfortable loading a bunch of weight on it, and this ankle doesn't feel like it's very coordinated, which is why you're putting all the pressure on the inside of your leg now. And that's why I don't feel the pressure on the outside of my leg.
Because you're not putting the pressure on it.
And my body doesn't trust that it can. So the body is like, oh, I can do this job, so I can squat, but I'm not going to be squatting in the most efficient way because my body's like, whoa, I don't trust this quad, so we're going to put all the weight on the inner thigh, on the adductors, on the vastus medialis, the inner quad. So with doing that, now we're putting stress on a smaller group of muscles than is necessary. So, but it's more efficient. Your body's like, whoa. I know that this can do the job. So rather than have these other things do the job or even try to get them to do the job, I know that they can't support the load. It's easier for me to just use this and the whole right leg because I know the right leg can handle it.
Yeah.
It's harder to re-educate and re-coordinate the left leg to be able to bear the same weight. And that's why doing two-legged shit right now for me is fucked. It's because the body is like, oh, it's easier for me to use this way.
Do you think it would be easier to actually use the left because now it's stronger?
It doesn't know that. That's the problem. Because it's all about patterns. Everything is patterns. That's why fighters who spend so much time here walk around like this. Like, they have rounded shoulders, they have everything because we spend them like this. So the body's like, cool, we're going to stay here because we don't ever go here.
Yeah.
And dancers are always here, so they're never here. So people who are always with this rounded position are going to have a shit ton of tension here, and they're going to feel all their pain in their upper back because they're always, all this is overstretched, all this is locked short. And then people who are over here probably have back pain as well. But now it's because all the tissue is pulled back, and now there's vertebrae compression.
Yeah.
So it's like the optimal posture is one that you can get into and out of every position. But that requires more work and it requires more education. So the body's not going to hold on to it unless you do it every day. So it's like people who can do splits when they're a kid. If they don't keep doing splits, their body's like, I don't need to split. So I'm going to throw this function away. And then when you go to do a split, you can tear something and get hurt because you haven't trained it in a long time.
Or your balls drop.
Or your balls drop. No, but you can still do it, motherfucker. But I'm just saying, your body is going to be receptive to what you do and tell it to do. You can have, let's say, you had a ligament torn and they pulled out the ligament and they replaced the ligament with a tendon. They cut a tendon from another muscle, put it in place of the ligament. Now you start doing training, coordination, re-education. After a month, what? Yeah. After a month, that is still a tendon.
Mm-hmm.
After 6 months, it's still a tendon. After a
It
year,
doesn't learn how to be a hamstring.
no. After a year, it may still be a tendon. After 2 years, it could be a ligament because you've trained it. Your body just looks at everything as cells and information. It's all like, bro, put your leg out. So instead of getting knee surgery these days, what I should have done if I was a fucking smarter human being, I know. This stimulus is sending fibroblasts to here.
Yeah.
So prolotherapy, when people take out old blood and they inject new blood into like inflamed areas that's full of old blood, it's sending so much stress to that area that the body goes. The body's gonna go and it's gonna, and then shit can get better. This stimulus is doing the same. We're breaking shit down to bring in new information, new shit.
Hard to day.
Or you can get surgery. Yeah. But it's all stressors. Your body just looks at it as cells. Your body just looks at it as information. So it's like, what is the input you are giving it? Are you re-educating it? And you can. But it takes work, and your body's like, oh, hey, man, if you don't tell me, like, I could tear a ligament, get it replaced with a tendon, not do anything, and guess what? It never adapts and becomes a ligament, so I have the same pain forever, and there's just this fucking thing there. Or I can train it, and it becomes exactly. Or I can train it, and it learns how to become a ligament because it's just fucking cells. But your body's not gonna just do that because it's like, I'm not going to work unless you make me work. That's why people who go and they train and like, bro, you remember how jacked I was like before I moved, before I even got surgery?
Yeah.
I haven't trained in a long time. So my body's like, hey, it's not efficient for me to hold on to all that muscle. Yeah. We're going to get fucking rid of it. It's easier for me to just not have it. But when I was training, it was easier for my body to have it because it needed it for what I was telling it to do. So people are designed to do what's fucking easier, but it's a matter of what have you molded to be your easy. Yes.
I really hope the person that I'm going to talk to eventually doesn't hear any of this. Probably think I'm a total fucker.
Okay. You are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I acknowledge that.
Yeah. As long as you own it.
Yeah.
I have to poop.
Go poop.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can you entertain people?
Yeah. I'll all right. So we're about an hour and a half in. I hope everybody's having fun catching up with us. We're having fun catching up with each other. It's very rare that me and Mitch hang out nowadays because we're in the country, but what happens? I'm sorry for being vague. I just have some things I want to keep private. Normally, I'm an open book. Like the wardrobe story I will tell that story forever. And the people that were involved in that story and everything, and I think they're I don't see why they wouldn't be. But yeah, I think right now it'd be good for me to have a little bit of history. But I do enjoy doing this again. I wish I could do this more often. There's a possibility that there could be some not like podcasting episodes coming soon. I'm trying to convince somebody to do what we're thinking about doing is Game of Thrones episode reviews for the final season. I think there's 6 episodes of the final season, so we're gonna do if they can get everything set up on there, we're gonna do 6 first episode reviews probably the day after, just so like we can watch it, digest it, maybe watch it twice again, and then talk about it, and like get the details and make sure everything is right. And I would like to sit down and talk to this person to get like a before and after of the season, so we could like compare and be like, this is what I think's gonna happen, and then we can go, well, this is what we thought was gonna happen. This is what actually happened, and I feel like that would be good. I feel like that's content. And yeah, I think there's I think there's some good stuff to be had with that. The reason there's no video for this podcast is slightly due to the fact that I'm not in the home studio doing this. I'm doing this from the laptop, and it's not pre-recorded. We're just live. I do have a better setup in the home studio now that I have an actual PC that can handle this kind of stuff. All the video editing, all the live streaming, I can do it from my PC, and it's fantastic, and I love it. So I'm thinking what I might do is I might go to I might go do more streaming soon, um, just to see how it goes. Today, the Apex Legends Season 1 Battle Pass was released, and I haven't really played much Apex, but the idea of the Battle Pass is uh, getting on me, so I might look at it, see if it's worth it, and maybe mess around into it. I'm 4 seasons into Fortnite Battle Passes, so I have a feeling this might be the last one unless things get interesting again. I got season 8 for free because I did all the challenges, so why not? Why not try it? Um, yeah, yeah, and that's how I was able to grow my penis by 6 inches. Yeah. I don't want to share the secret.
That's fair. So,
it's 7 inches now.
Start a company with me.
What do we do?
Making shirts, making posters, making blog posts, making fucking everything.
Can we also defraud the U.S. government and sell weapons to Saudi Arabia?
Mm-hmm. Only if they're faulty weapons, so that we're defrauding both people.
I don't know.
Okay. East Coast Trash Company.
Waste management?
Exactly. That's what it sounds like. But we're just producing trash. Fucking like.
Oh, you want to start Supreme? Okay.
Exactly.
Yeah, we can do that.
Cool. Let's do that.
All right, I'm done. How much?
I don't know.
To like get the LLC license.
Oh. I'll just do it under Jelly Donut Dynamics. So the LLC already exists. I'll just create a different company name. So all we need is a DBA of doing business as.
Okay. I have an entire list of names. Like, if you want to take a look at it.
East Coast Trash Company.
I'm done. Should probably do something about that because it's not recorded.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, no one's on. No one's listening.
Yeah, but they could. Listen here, Mitchell. I know the government is listening in on all my recordings, all my YouTube. That's why they're hiding the Joe Rogan podcast from me and my recommendations.
Yeah.
Did you listen to the Jack podcast? The second one? Where it's like Joe, Tim Pool, Jack, and this lady that works at Twitter.
No, I heard it's really good.
It is a fucking doozy, dude. Like, I will give everybody in the podcast credit. They did fantastic. The comment section is always infested with shit. For some reason, this one wasn't. This one was actually like decent.
Okay.
All I will say is Tim Pool is a fucking monster, and there's a lot of weird shit going on with social media, and I feel like we might be coming to the end of the golden age of the internet, especially with our generation and growing up and seeing exactly what is possible and unlocking some of that potential. Um, the other one that I was listening to that was like in a very internet heavy. Um, is it? I think her name is Renee Razini or there's something. She basically spent a year and a half looking at Russian troll farms.
Sorry, what?
She spent a year and a half like investigating Russian troll like social media accounts.
Okay.
Like, but they're farms. Like it's
I don't understand farms.
all right. So you know how a normal farm has like mass quantities of things?
Mm-hmm.
Same thing applies, but social media.
I don't understand. Like meme pages? Like I don't.
Like meme pages.
Okay.
Meme pages, accounts that look real,
That aren't.
that send you messages that you sign up for websites.
Oh yeah. I get that bullshit all the time.
Yeah. That's farming. They're part of the farm and they're trying to data mine and get as much information as possible.
Yeah, I figured they were hackers.
Not so much hackers because they don't really like steal anything.
But they get access to all your shit. It's like I have a cousin who's a piece of shit. That motherfucker had me sign into a website when I was in middle school and was like, haha, I can see everything that you do and everything that you've looked at. Little piece of shit. Oh my god.
It's not like you were in middle school, so you weren't like doing anything.
I was watching a lot. And he was like, I'm gonna tell your parents. And I was like, wow, you're a cunt.
You're a preteen teenage boy.
I don't care. He was
and you have the internet.
I don't care. He was a piece of shit. So data miners, I'd put a bullet in every data miner.
Nice. I'm not expecting that.
I know you weren't.
It was good.
Thank you. That wasn't a legitimate threat. Live things.
It wasn't alleged.
Yeah.
Allegedly, that's what happened.
Exactly.
But because you're a West Coast pussy on that.
Exactly. I'm a West Coast pussy who does yoga.
They would steal your information.
Yeah. I'd be like, oh yeah, cool, yeah. Just take it, take all of it. Mine my data. Mine my data.
Mine my data, Daddy.
They're fucking data miners in Parks and Rec. They were my least favorite people.
I don't know data miners.
I don't like people digging my
They're digging everybody's shit.
I don't care. Okay.
I mean, like, I've had significantly harder time since like Xbox phones and shit. Like finding information and like,
That's the thing.
but I'm also I don't know if I'd want to go back. I don't think I'd want to go back. Yeah, I'd have the information, but what does that information do for me? How does it make me feel?
I like it.
Huh?
I said I like it.
You like the endorphin rush.
That's fair.
Which is what you're doing.
Yep. I like seeing all the things.
Holy shit.
What?
It's your cervix. I'm just kidding.
Oh, I was like, who are we talking about?
Just trying to make it look like you're looking at porn on Instagram.
Oh, I mean, I can go to some accounts that are basically that.
Okay. I can open up my Snapchat right now.
No.
I won't do.
but still Chinese food is here if you want it.
I do.
Okay. I don't know. I just showed up. I just show up. It's like family vacation. Mom tries to tell me where we're gonna go, and I'm like, just when I'm getting on a plane. I don't really care.
Just tell me when. Just tell me when you guys are.
Yep. Right. Tell me what time you get on the plane. What type of clothes do I need? Okay. See you there.
Did you ever look at that city that I sent you?
Let's see.
I texted you the name of the city. Or, I'm pretty sure I texted it to you. I don't think I sent it to your Instagram. So I was like, it's gonna get lost because you just send me shit all the time. It's maybe like a couple weeks old right now. Literally just the name of the city. And like, we should go there.
Coeur d'Alene, Ohio.
Yes. I don't know.
Okay. What about it?
It's
I have friends who live in Idaho.
it's basically um it's basically the French Riviera. Imagine
Enlighten me.
imagine like the fanciest imagine where those people in white robes wish they could be. That's that place. They wish they could be doing yoga on the side of that fucking lake.
Water sports.
It's also it would also be important to say that Kanye West has like a vacation house there. Like it's supposed to be like this big secret that nobody knows about, but like except for select few people.
This is the satellite city of Spokane, Washington.
Yep, it's only about 45 minutes from the airport. They have their own municipal airport, which I think is how most people like fly in under the radar there. So they having to go to Spokane or Boise. But like it's quite literally paradise in the middle of nowhere.
Aren't there like mountain lions and all that shit?
Idaho. Everything you find in a mountain and the Great Plains, you will find there.
Alright. Ooh, it smells.
But I would also assume it also gets very hot during the summer.
Oh my god, it's gotten -30.
Pretty cool.
That's like Alaska. It's hit wait. Oh, okay. It's hit -2 degrees in June.
I mean, probably at the top of the mountain.
Oh, fair.
I had to guess that's everywhere.
Okay. Would Teddy Roosevelt approve? That's the real question.
Would Teddy Roosevelt approve of poor people pretending they're bougie? Maybe. Because they're poor, maybe.
Big Teddy Roosevelt.
I'm a big Teddy Roosevelt fan.
Ah, that was good. Not a coffee.
I'm almost done with coffee. I got like
I drank the whole thing today, but you drank that whole thing.
I drank
Short a period of time.
I drank 40 ounces of espresso. I'm not gonna sleep for the weekend. But it's almond milk, so I'll be okay. I'm not gonna be shitting my brains out for 5 days. I'll just be furiously masturbating to Snapchat for you.
god. Oh, and now. I think the amount of coffee I've had today has negatively affected me. Oh, walk America.
I ain't running for shit.
I only know how to sprint and walk. I tried doing a jog and I was like, this is very uncomfortable.
I can only imagine that it is very
Like max effort or nothing. Fuck this.
maximum effort. Okay, so to recap.
I agree with that. I mean, that's fair, but that involves you gotta do this thing when you come hang out in Los Angeles.
That sounds like a thing I want to do.
Why haven't you been doing it? What? They're playing Lamb of God at a coffee shop that I go to. Oh, Josiah's back. Alright, I'm too distracted.
You enjoy your Alright, everybody. That was Cappuccino Cunnilingus episode number 35.
Thanks for kicking it.
We appreciate you guys hanging out, sticking all the way through this.
Yeah.
We just decided that since we were both here at the same time, might as well.
For sure. I had some things I wanted to say about the West Coast and how I love it, and it's also so bad.
I'm so glad none of those people are going to hear this. I might tag you in it, but I'm not expecting you to share it. Alright. Let's go eat some Chinese food.
Let's go, East Coast Trash Company, bitch.
Check out my SoundCloud.
That's what we can do too, is we got a SoundCloud.
No, SoundCloud bullshit.
No, I mean,
SoundCloud dead.
all I produce is trash.
Can we sound like actual?
Yeah.
Like literal garbage off the street. Like this rapper.
Let's put East Coast Trash Company on it.
But like open. Like it's trash. Like put our name and logo on it, but it's trash. And sell it for $20.
Yeah.
Everybody enjoy